Hey, astral beings. So, I'm going to talk about some of the sensitive topics that I bring up on my channel. And the reason that I bring up sensitive topics like abuse, narcissism, just things that most people in most scenarios would rather not talk about or, sweep under the rug, kind of thing. I talk about these things because one, um, honestly, I was a victim of lots of not so great things. Um, have I taken accountability for my healing and healed and continue to heal and move through, my past and what I've been through and accept that, okay, this is what happened. There's nothing I can do about it, but the only thing I can do about it is accept that that's what my reality was and I got to move on. And the best way to move on is to heal and to go forward with your future, okay, and focus on what really matters. All right, so I talk about that now and I share that on here because, yeah, I was in some pretty not so great situations, okay, life threatening, okay, kind of situations. And I know that me sharing it and sharing my insight as well, kind of like helping people figure out red flags or knowing how to maneuver these situations or having a different perspective on the situation, or even again maybe somebody knowing, hey, look, there's somebody who got through that and maybe I can too. If I can help other people, other victims of abuse or in not so great situations, be able to get out of it, it's worth every bit to share. Okay. And victims have just as much of a right to voice their story and share their story, um, without feeling like they're going to be ridiculed for it. Okay. Because I'll be honest, like, that's honestly another form of abuse. Okay, enablers. Okay, if you are enabling abuse, or you don't want people to talk about it, that's also abuse. I'll just be real. It is. Because people have the right to speak up when some injustice or something wrong happened. Okay, and I'm not talking about, like, they're making something up or exaggerating. People do go through some pretty harsh, real, horrible things. Okay, like I have. Okay, and I know that because I have experienced it firsthand. And we have a right to share. Not only just because, again, it's good for people to be aware. All right, but again, it can also help others who are in that position. Um, and yeah, if anybody feels triggered or judged by me speaking, up on these certain scenarios, um, that's fine. I don't really mind. Like, I know that my videos or my experiences and the things that I have been through that I share, I know it's going to trigger some people. I know people are going to think a certain way about it or not understand why I'm even talking about it. Because society has put the label on, to, like, oh, don't talk about your feelings. Oh, if something horrible happens, why would you talk about it? Isn't that humiliating or embarrassing? Uh, okay, newsflash. You know what's frickin' embarrassing? Um, Going around and purposely hurting people and abusing people. I'll be honest, like, that sounds more embarrassing to me than speaking up about what transpired against you. Okay? To know that someone purposely is hurting somebody. Okay? Like, if I was in that position and I purposely hurt somebody, I'd feel a lot more shame, regret, and guilt and embarrassment than if I was on the other side and I was the victim. Okay? Because it's wrong. It's wrong. You shouldn't be hurting anyone at all. And it's a victim's reaction, okay, to said abuse, and then per se, again, people don't agree with the victim's reaction, all right? That's not on them. The victim wouldn't even have to have a reaction if the abuser, the person who did it in the first place, didn't do it. So ultimately, everything transpiring after the fact, okay, lays on the perpetrators, the initiators, the abusers' shoulders and consciousness, okay? It is not the victim's weight to carry, okay? It's not. So if a victim needs to speak out and talk about what they had been through, and an abuser or anyone else doesn't like it, oh well. Because, again, those people have a right to speak about it, and those people should not be, they shouldn't be holding on to that weight, okay? And again, if the abuser didn't want someone to speak out about what they're doing, then they shouldn't have done it in the first place. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the victim judging anybody or doing anything like that. It's about the victim telling their truth, saying what is really going on, saying what reality is. And if people want to avoid reality, or they want to avoid the truth, well, then they need to look at themselves and see why their actions led to somebody speaking up about the truth about their actions. That's what needs to happen. It's just that simple. At least in my mind, it is. You know, like, you don't want someone to talk about your bad behavior? Okay, then don't do it. Make a change. Look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that simple. But it's not on the victim's shoulders to hold that shame, that guilt, that regret, that embarrassment. Okay? It's hard for a victim to even get to that point, because most victims they didn't ask for that. Sometimes, yes, we might put ourselves in some peculiar situations out of emotions or love, yes, or family or loyalty. That can happen. But they never asked for that. Okay? So it's already harder for the victim to even get to the point of speaking out about said abuse. Okay? I didn't speak about my stuff for a long time. I spoke about it to some certain other people, like in confidence, that I knew when everything was going on. But it's not like I talked about it more openly. And the only reason I talk about it more openly now is because I have maneuvered through it. I have overcome it. I have healed it. And now I know that if what I share can save someone's life, okay, literally, I'm talking about lives here. If that can save someone's life from an abuser, it's worth every single effort to share. Whether people judge me for it, whether people ridicule me for it, whether people think I'm targeting an abuser for it, okay? I'm sorry, you think what I'm saying is wrong, to talk about on here? I'll just be real, you're a part of the problem. You're an enabler. You're an enabler of abuse, okay? And I'm all love and light, and, I wish them healing. I pray for them. Trust me, I pray for everybody. I wish everybody, again, could get along, personally. I really do. We all could, if people just treated each other like normal, okay? Like humans. If people just treated each other okay, all right? Trust me, I wish that they can get the help they need, the people that are doing wrong to people and themselves. I really do. And that's why I do give people chances and forgive and stuff, because I know that there is possibilities for change. Positive change. Okay? But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that truth and reality isn't still going on. It doesn't mean that a victim can't speak out about facts, about receipts, about what they've been through. It's someone speaking out about reality isn't judgment. It's truth. That's what it is. There's no judging. So if they're speaking on edgy, triggering topics that are hard for people to talk about, or most people don't even want to talk about it or hear about it, and people feel a certain type of way, okay? It is what it is. You know, again, it's not the victim judging anybody. It's just them sharing reality. And if people get triggered or feel a certain way about seeing or hearing reality, well, I mean, all it's going to show is that there is something within that person that also needs to be worked on. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, that type of weight or ridicule doesn't need to go on the victim's shoulders. And I want to state that out there for anybody else who has felt ashamed or ridiculed or has been told, oh, why are you talking about that in that way towards people, you know, blah, blah. Yeah, at the end of the day, everybody deserves a fair chance, including the abusers. Everybody deserves forgiveness. Everybody deserves grace, okay? And it's not to say that the victim has to forgive or give grace to the abusers or whatever. I'm just saying that they deserve a fair chance to find the healing that they need to, the abusers. Okay, they do. Again, I wish that they can figure their stuff out. I really do. But at the end of the day, it's not up to the victim to hold on to that weight when they go to speak up about these said things. So yeah, I am very passionate about that. I do talk about those types of situations on this channel because I'm a healer. And these are situations that, again, not many people are brave enough or have a courage to talk about because of the backlash or the judgment that they might receive, okay? Or how they might be looked at and perceived because of that, okay? And yeah, so, but it's something that needs to be talked about because I'll be real, not talking about these things, sweeping those things under the rug, okay, I'll be honest, is the reason why the world is the way it is because there isn't enough people speaking out against injustice, against things that are hurting people, okay? All right? And again, if a victim speaks out about an abuser or someone doing an injustice to them and that hurts the abuser, again, that's not on the victim's conscience to feel bad for that. At the end of the day, they shouldn't have done it in the first place. The abusers shouldn't have done it in the first place, and nothing would have transpired at all that way. You got to realize that. Okay? So again, it's not the victim's fault for their reaction. It's not. And it never should be. And yeah, this is why we're here. This is why the world is not the best, because people don't want to feel or talk about, you know, hard emotions and truths that need to be said. Okay, I'll be honest. They need to be talked about. They need to be said. Everybody wants to act all big, bad, and tough, and oh, I don't need to feel any emotions. I don't need to look into that. Oh, that's for babies. Oh, but you're willing to go do all these other things, but you can't even go look at some frickin', you know, silly emotions. You're not even strong enough or have enough power to look at some, for whatever reason, you know, weak emotions. Oh, if you're so strong, you're so powerful, you're so not afraid, then look at them. Is it that difficult if it's so minuscule? You know, why is everyone so afraid of emotions. I've never understood that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want to say that not looking at emotions means you're tough. And to be honest, I don't believe that at all. I don't. Like, if people don't even have the courage to look at themselves and look at their own actions and look at how they're feeling, I don't think that's tough. I don't. Um, and yeah, it is difficult to look at those emotions. It takes strength to look at some certain emotions or talk about certain things. It does. It does. I have gone into the depths of my harder emotions and things that I have been through, and I have faced them head on every time. Have I cried a lot? Heck yeah, I have. I've cried so much. I cry all the time. I'll admit it. I don't care. I'm still a man. I'm still gonna go do anything else that any other man could probably do. But I'm not afraid to say that, yeah, I frickin' cry all the time. Is it on my own time? And, probably, when I feel like I can? Yeah. I usually keep that stuff pretty personal to myself. There are certain times where I've literally cried in public. Yeah. I feel those things. And I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid of some supposed minuscule emotions that we should be throwing under the rug for whatever reason. What's so scary about them? If everybody says they're so not afraid and strong and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean, and honestly, people should be feeling things. Not feeling things is, again, the reason why we're here. And most people go around acting like, and I'll be honest, it's the truth. I'm out and about in the world all the time, and I'm always being a human. I'm always being polite, showing manners, trying to talk to people. But I'll be real. Most people out there, the way that they are and act in the world, it's like they're bots. Okay? It's like they're not even feeling. It's like they're numb. There isn't any feeling going on in there. They're just there. And honestly, it's the saddest thing. And it's so sad. It's depressing, actually. Like, I was born in 92, and the world was a different place back then. It was. People actually connected. People actually talked to each other. Nowadays, that's rare, which is the craziest thing, because it's a normal thing that we all should be doing. So, yeah, I'm going to continue talking about it, and because it needs to be said. It needs to be talked about. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to talk about these hard things, these harsh truths that are not easy to speak on. Someone's got to do it. And then I'm not the only one who does. There's plenty of other content creators and other people that speak out all the time. And if you're also one of those people, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Anybody who has the strength to talk about these things, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. Because it is needed. That is needed right now. And don't ever, and this is for anyone, don't ever let anyone silence your voice and silence your truth and silence your reality from what you experienced. You experienced that. That is a truth to you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise and make you feel a certain way because of that. We should still try and stay cordial and as polite as we can. If you need to give out, emotions of more anger and whatnot, I suggest probably going to the gym, punching the air, listening to some hardcore rock or dubstep, okay, raging your ass off, Okay, go to a concert to go do that. Go to some MMA class. Go to a kickboxing class, and go, experience that rage there. Okay? Yeah, we can rage on social media, and if you feel like you want to do that, by all means, go ahead. We have free will. We're allowed to do what we want. But me personally, yeah, you should probably try and experience those rage or angry emotions in that type of way. All right. If you need to vent, to a friend in a raging way, and they'll understand that you're raging about the situation, you're not raging at them, then great, that's okay too. But that is the best way to transmute the rage or anger you might be feeling from a situation you might have been through. But again, I'll remind you, don't let anyone silence you and make you feel a certain way because you are speaking on topics that, again, it's hard for most people to even talk about. Most people are scared to talk about it. Most people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to look at it. They don't want to even think about it. It's too real. It's too scary to look at those emotions. Don't let that happen. Okay? You speak on whatever you need to speak on if you feel like you should. All right. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay safe out there, and I appreciate you guys. Peace.